Welcome back. Well, she was a crorepati bahu. She had everything that a woman could ask for. A loving husband, wonderful in-laws and all the luxuries that money could buy. But little did she know that a dinner with her husband on Sunday would be her last. Or was it the loving husband himself who staged a deadly drama to kill his wife? Let's find out what happened in the final 45 minutes of Jyoti's life.
Take a look at this image. Her name is Jyoti Shamadasini. She was a simple woman who was happily married. But one fateful night, things took a horrendous turn in her life, and in 45 minutes, she was abducted and murdered. The man you see crying uncontrollable on your screens was her husband. He had to watch as his wife was abducted in front of his eyes. Let's quickly tell you more about this man. Piyush Shyamdasani, franchise dealer of Parle-G biscuits, resident of Kanpur. Now let's tell you how this brutal murder of Kanpur's crorepati bahu took place. A romantic dinner. Jyoti had gone to one of the well-known restaurants with her husband for dinner. It was a beautiful Sunday night and they had visited the Veranda restaurant at Company Bar Crossing. This is the CCTV footage of the couple enjoying dinner. Soon after dinner, they left the restaurant at around midnight. Brutal murder after dinner. Piyush and his wife Jyoti were returning home after having dinner, but little did they know that death was lurking. About 8 to 10 persons on bikes started following them and soon enough overtook their car. There were 8 men on 4 bikes. One of the motorcycles hit Piyush's car, leading to a clash between both sides. They forced him to stop the car near the Nawabganj locality and pulled out Piyush. After thrashing him badly, 4 of them entered the car and took away Jyoti. The other 4 followed the car on their bikes.
खाना खा के थोड़े आगे बढ़े ही थे, गाड़ी के दोनों शीशे खुले हुए थे, थोड़ी आगे बढ़े कुछ लड़के आए बाइक से, गाली गलौज हुई, ठोकर हुई, मुझे मारा, गाड़ी से धक्का दे दिया, मेरी वाइफ को लेके चले गए.
45 minutes later, Jyoti breathes her last. Jyoti's body was found in the car with several wounds and her ring finger, in which she was wearing a diamond ring, was chopped off and taken away by the assailants. Besides the diamond ring, nothing was found missing for her body or from the car. A News9 report.
Well, that was the end of Jyoti, but what seemed like a brutal murder by unknown miscreants soon took a mysterious turn. Is there more to it than what meets the eye? Is Piyush an innocent victim or the mastermind who gave Supari for his wife's murder? Get all the answers in the detailed segment Crorepati Bahu's Murder at 9:30 p.m. right here on News9. Moving on to some other news now. Former Chief Minister and Leader of Opposition Jagadish Shettar created quite a stir recently in the Assembly when he accused Siddaramaia's government of being involved in land denotification. Now he is being accused of having illegally granted land to a person illegally. Listen to the expose.
This expose came out courtesy of Vakkaligara Sangha. Its secretary, Professor M. Nagaraja, made the disclosure. The year was 1967 when the then government gave a grant of 10 acres to the Vakkaligara Sangha. It also leased out 10 acres to the Sangha. The land was covered under survey number 129. In the same year, the government also granted 10 acres of land to the Golden Valley Education Trust, besides leasing out 15 acres to it. The lands granted and leased out are located in Srigandakaval, which is barely 15 kilometers from Vidhanasauda. In the interim period, the district commissioner took back the land leased to Golden Valley on the grounds that the land was not being put to the intended use. Golden Valley then approached the court of law and filed a case. Land grant allegation. Now comes the allegation. Professor Nagaraja says that land has been granted to one Sundaresh, son of a freedom fighter, Surya Narayana. The land grant, or specifically the 4-acre grant, was given by the then BJP government headed by Jagdish Shettar. In fact, Professor Nagaraja says that the plot of land actually belongs to the Sangha and has accused Shettar of illegally granting land.
ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಕೇಳದೆ ಬೇರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಪಡೆದಿರುವಂತ ಒಬ್ಬ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಸಂತ್ರಸ್ತ ಅನ್ನೋ ಹೆಸರಿನಲ್ಲಿ 25 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಬದುಕಿದ್ದಂತ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಸಫರರ್ ಹೆಸರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಮಗನಿಗೆ 80 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಬೆಲೆ ಬಾಳುವಂತ ಆಸ್ತಿನ 4 ಎಕರೆ ಭೂಮಿನ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡಿಗೆ ಬದಲಾಗಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಅಕ್ರಮ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಕ್ಕಲಿಗ ಜನಾಂಗಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಘಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತ ದ್ರೋಹ.
Now, come to the land allotment to Sundaresh. He was allocated 4 acres by the government on the orders of the court. Why did Shettar allot land to Sundaresh? In fact, Sundaresh won the case which had been filed by his late father, Surya Narayana. The freedom fighter had challenged the 4-acre parcel of land being taken back by the Karnataka government. The 4-acre plot was a part of survey number 76, falling under Sadaramangala limits. But later, realizing there was a mistake in this allegation, the government took over the 4-acre plot, forcing Surya Narayana to approach the court of law to seek relief. Former Chief Minister Shettar, however, alleges wrongdoing and says that this is a ploy of the Congress government.
ಇದು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಸತ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ದೂರವಾದಂಥ ಸಂಗತಿ. ಈಗೇನು ನಾನು ಡಿನೋಟಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾಪ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಗದಾಪ್ರಹಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಆ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆ ಇಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು ಇವತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ನ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ, ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಆಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ನವರೇ ಇದನ್ನು ಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಆಪಾದನೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ನಾನು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತೇನೋ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲೋಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದಾಗಲಿ ಮತ್ತೊಂದಾಗಲಿ ಕಾನೂನುಬದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮತ್ತು ಕೋರ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇವತ್ತೇನಾದರೂ ಜಮೀನನ್ನು ಮಂಜೂರು ಮಾಡಿದಂಥದ್ದು ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು.
Only time will tell which side's viewpoint is correct. Anand Burli, News9, Bengaluru.
And well, after winning the elections in India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has won US's hearts. US Secretary of State John Kerry applauded Modi's development policies just before his visit to India.
The new Indian government's plan, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, together with all, development for all. That's a concept, a vision that we want to support. We believe it's a great vision.
This is what U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry said while delivering a speech at the Center of American Progress in Washington. He added that the Indian Prime Minister had an impressive developmental agenda where the focus was on all-inclusive growth. Kerry also made a reference to the important role the IT sector in Bengaluru played in global development.
In a globalized world, we recognize that, yes, India is going to have many different partners. That's the nature of the world we're in today. But we believe there are unique opportunities for just the United States and India. And that the dynamism and the entrepreneurial spirit of Mumbai and Bangalore, of Silicon Valley and of Boston, that is precisely what is required in order to solve some of the world's greatest challenges.
Kerry hailed Modi's move to invite Nawaz Sharif to his oath-taking ceremony as Prime Minister. He said that Modi had taken the first step to establish peace and friendship with its South Asian neighbor. The U.S. Secretary of State will arrive in New Delhi tomorrow to co-chair the 5th annual India-US Strategic Dialogue with Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj. Later, he will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The trip will mark the first U.S. cabinet-level visit to New Delhi since Narendra Modi took over as Prime Minister. A News9 report.
The festive spirit prevailed across the country as Eid was celebrated with much fervour. It was not all celebrations in peace, though, as some parts of the country were marred by protests.
Bengaluru celebrates Eid. Bengalurians celebrated Eid ul-Fitr with great zeal today. Early morning prayers were offered in open grounds and mosques. The Eidgah Maidan in Chamrajpet saw a huge gathering of the faithful. Later, people of all age groups were seen wishing each other on the occasion. Bamboo Bazaar was crowded as residents came out onto the streets to celebrate the festival. Families indulged in shopping at the busy Shivaji Nagar area. The market area had more than its regular share of visitors on the occasion of Eid. Celebrations on the border. The festival triggered celebrations on the country's border too. The Indian and Pakistani armies opened doors to each other on the Wagah border. Pakistan soldiers presented sweets and gifts to their Indian counterparts as a peaceful gesture on the festive occasion. Hyderabad gets festive. The most prominent location of the city, the Charminar, witnessed huge crowds. Many gathered for prayers at the Makkah Masjid and thereafter greeted each other. Eid celebrations with BJP leaders. BJP leaders who are busy with the affairs of the country were seen in a jovial mood today. They sent out their wishes to the entire country.
TV9 के दर्शकों को ईद की बहुत बहुत शुभकामना। ईद देश के लिए शांति, समृद्धि और सौहार्द का मौका लेके आए और देश में जो हर व्यक्ति है वो खुशहाली के रास्ते पे आगे बढ़े, यही ईद की।
A very happy Eid to all Indians, and let's keep the tradition of brotherhood very clear, and brotherhood, sisterhood amongst the Indian community. A very happy Eid to all of you.
Curfew lifted in Saharanpur. Saharanpur witnessed intense conflict in the past week. Today the scenes were different in a conflict-ridden town. The festive occasion saw the faithful involved in prayers, followed by celebrations. There was high security in the area, but people were happy about the fact that the curfew was lifted. Protests in Srinagar. In Srinagar, the scenario was not so peaceful. Protests raged against the situation in Gaza. Police and protesters clashed on the streets. A News9 report.